Hi, I'm James.
And I'm Matt.
And we're instructors here at Winspers Martial Arts Centre.
It's anti-bullying week, so we're going to look at some special techniques that your child can practice for their self-defense.
These self-defense moves are for children to exit a confrontation as quick as possible without getting into a fist fight.
Problem with fist fights is that they can escalate and it can involve the children damaging themselves, each other, and obviously getting themselves into lots of trouble.
The problem with putting up a fighting stance is it shows the attacker and everybody around that you're ready to fight, and no doubt a fist fight will ensue. Another option is what's known as the fence, and this is where you put up your hands in between you and the aggressor, and this enables the person to get a good judge of distance between yourself and the attacker. One possible defence is a hard push to keep them going backwards and to maintain distance, and another is a simple stop kick. Not a high kick, just a low kick thrown down to the leg. When pushing, you don't want to place your hands on and shove because that will give them a chance to grab. It needs to be a short, quick motion, and when we're kicking we make sure we keep our head back, and it could be a side kick or a front kick as shown here, just to keep them off balance and to maintain some distance. Another possibility from a punch is a cover, where we keep the elbow protruding forward to hit the body and we keep our head protected, and this could also be finished with a push. The next defence to look at is if you're charged by someone running and grabbing around the waist trying to knock you over. Firstly, we secure a guillotine choke, and the way we do this is we feed our hands around the neck. We ensure that our feet are pressed back to stop us from being knocked over, and then we hop the feet forward when we want to apply the choke with the forearm into the neck. The next defence is from a rugby style tackle, so they're going for the legs. The important thing is that you get your legs as far back as possible so they can't grab them to knock you over. Notice how I keep my body on top of the attacker, which will enable me to have top control to be able to carry on with an attack or try and manoeuvre to safely out the way without getting engaged too much in combat. When defending this takedown, it's important to keep the body high and above the attacker, otherwise they'll be able to jump onto the top of you and then start attacking. So you need to ensure that your body stays above them and your legs out back. Another common position is what's known as the guard, where someone is just trying to strike and punch. So to counter that, we place our knees into the middle and buck the hips up, just to minimise the chance they have of punching and to widen the distance between the attacker and your head. So as you can see here, my hands are nice and high, covering as the punches are coming in. I bring my knees into the inside to the chest. I buck my hips up to create lots of space, which lengthens the distance between the attacker and myself. One thing the attacker may do is they may move the knees by pushing them to the side so they can get closer to you. If that happens, we reach up and break their posture, pull them down, we control the head and an arm, and then we can set up another technique, or we can try and move to safety. The next position is known as the mount. So the person on top is in the mount. The person underneath needs to keep their elbows in onto the legs. If they don't keep their elbows in, the attacker can get really high, and this decreases the strength in the person's arms, and it's really difficult to defend yourself in that position. So what the person on the floor needs to do is they need to make sure they keep their elbows in to stop the person from advancing up towards the head, and then we need to off balance them by bucking the hips up, which will cause them to tip forward. What you could also do to help them tip forward is drive your knee into the back, which will cause them to post out with the arms. Then you can gather an arm, collect an arm in, bridge up and round, and this is one option of escaping when you're on the floor. Next, if the attacker grabs your feet, and what they're aiming to do is push them to the side so they can hit you. Instead, we want to strip one foot from their grip and perform an up kick. So we bring one leg forward, one leg back, loosen the grip, and then we push our hips up into the air. The last thing we'll look at is how to stand safely away from the person. So when we're doing this, I want to make sure I get sidewards on and keep a hand forwards and back so I can transfer my weight back to it, and I keep my other hand up just to gauge the distance. What I don't want to do is sit up in towards them so they can grab my neck and then carry on punching. What I need to do is put one hand back so I can transfer my weight back and create lots of space. These are just some of the techniques and concepts that we'll go through with the children in our anti-bullying week in our martial arts classes, but the main object of these classes is to recognise danger, exit danger as quick and as safely as possible without getting into a fist fight and causing unnecessary damage to yourself or other people. We hope you enjoyed it, and we look forward to seeing you soon.